Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. Today is not Friday, but it is a hashtag Friday Sews kind of a day. I'm a day late, so sue me. I was just too busy yesterday. So today's Saturday and I'm filming my Friday Sews. So if you're not already familiar with the Friday Sews format, basically it is a hashtag that was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. I will link her below. And it's a forum for sewing vloggers to just kind of talk about things they've worked on for the last week, things that they have coming up in the near future, and a little bit about life. And we have also recently started a Facebook group for people who are participating in Friday Sews. I will link the Facebook page below in case you want to join. And one of the things that's really fun is Jen has started adding a weekly prompt. So it gives us like one additional thing that's new and different to talk about every week. I encourage you to go and check out the hashtag Friday Sews on YouTube and get to know a lot of other sewing vloggers. It's a lot of fun. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, so this week's prompt is, what is your favorite thing that you've ever sewn for somebody else? Now, I'm not going to count stuff that I sewed back when I was sewing, over 25 years ago, because I don't have any pictures of any of that. Although I did make my grandmother a handbag out of brocade fabric that was actually, it came out really nice. I wish I had a picture of that. Anyway, but I'm going to talk about what I have made since I started sewing again in March of last year. So a few months into my sewing journey, I want to say it was like the May time frame, so just a couple of months, I had made 2 free patterns for 2 of my friends' children. So one of them was younger. I made her the free child's art smock from Spoonflower. It is a reversible apron. It's one of those with the crossback, and it's really cute. And you can flip it and reverse it, and it's got a pocket on the front. I'll pop pictures in of both the Spoonflower image as well as the image of the one that I made. And I used quilting cotton that I got from Joann's and mixed a couple of different prints together, and I think it came out super cute. And so my friend's daughter loves doing art stuff, craft stuff, and so she wanted a smock, so I made it, and apparently she has worn it a lot over the last year, and so she's grown out of it, unfortunately. But she did wear it a lot. Apparently it's kind of worn out, so I'm happy to hear that. And then the second apron that I made was for another friend's child who is older, but she likes to cook. So I made her the free tessuti apron, and I also used some Joann's quilting cotton for that, and I mixed a few different prints together, and I think that one came out super cute. So yeah, so those are both free apron patterns that are still available online. I will link to them below. They were both very easy to make because I was still new in my sewing re-emergence, and I had no trouble with either one of them at all. The Spoonflower one was really interesting because it was reversible, so and the way that, and there were only, I want to say there was only one piece, and it's just the way it was cut on the fold for the front and the back, and you just sewed it at the shoulder seams and then did some kind of origami turnout. But I mean, as a beginner, I was able to figure it out and I didn't have any trouble. So I definitely encourage you, if you have small children, to go and check that pattern out. I don't know how to grade, otherwise I would make one for myself because I think it's a super cool pattern. But the tessuti one is also very cool. It's not reversible, but it's a very easy, simple crossback apron. So go check those out. All right, so let's jump into the typical Friday Sews agenda, and I'll talk about what I've made this week. Not much. I have really not been in my Sojo mode lately. And so this week I made my Style Arc Anderson knit dress, which I'm wearing again. I've worn it several times this week already. It's just easy to throw on and comfortable, and the colors are so vibrant that they make me happy. So I'm definitely making more sweatshirt dresses. I will make another Anderson. I really like the way that the shoulder darts shape the top, but I also want to make the Rebecca Page hoodie dress, which is probably going to be next on my agenda in the near future. It's not immediate. This is something that I've made. I've shown a couple of my family members, and I've already had 2 requests for that to be somebody's Christmas present. So I will be making a couple more of these with the ice dye fabric that I do. So I did a review on this already earlier this week. I will link in the cards. So if you're interested in the Anderson knit dress, you can go check that review out. That's really all I've completed this week, just the one. For several weeks now, I've talked about this Lois crossbody bag that I want to make. I am really excited to have this bag. I am not really excited to make it. I don't know if that makes sense. So I've got my fabric cut out that I'm going to use for my tester version. So it's like ready to go. I just haven't been super eager to get started. So I'm using this outdoor fabric for the bottom part. I'm using this ice dyed fabric for the top part. And then I'm using this seersucker for the lining. All my pieces are cut out. It's ready to go. Maybe I'll get started on it today or tomorrow. I don't know. I can't get like into it. I don't know what my problem is. So that'll happen sooner or later. I just don't know when. The other thing that I have been working on this week, and I had a little bit of a tragedy. Oh my God, this is stressing me out so bad. So I've made quite a bit of progress on my shawl. And then a couple of nights ago, it fell off the needles. Actually, what happened was I have these needles that are interchangeable. So the needle comes off of the cord. This is the first time this has ever happened to me, but in the middle of my row, which is pretty long, the needle came unattached from the cord. And so I lost all those stitches off the cord in the middle. Now it's fixable. I can go in, but I have to go in with a really tiny crochet hook and go down, because it isn't just the row that I knit that lost. I've dropped a couple of stitches on, or I've dropped a row on many of the stitches. So I have to go in and bring the stitch back up to the right row and then put it on the needle. And that's quite a bit to do. And I don't see very well. So I have to do it with my readers on, and I have to pay attention. So I can't do it while I'm like watching TV or doing anything else. And each stitch is taking me, it probably took me 10 minutes to get like 5 stitches on. So this is gonna take me a while, and I'm like a little heartbroken over it, but I love the shawl, and I'm definitely not gonna waste all the work that I've already done. So I just need to find time to concentrate on that. It's really bummed me out. All right, so that's all I've kind of worked on this week. So what is next for me? So my crossbody bag obviously is next, or in the near future rotation. I have cut out a pattern for my next Rebecca Page make. As I've mentioned before on my channel, I am a Rebecca Page brand ambassador, which means that they have new releases every month. And as a brand ambassador, I make one of the new releases prior to it being published. I'm not testing it, the test group is separate, but I'm making it before the release date so that on the release date, there will be a lot of samples for people to see different takes on the pattern. So I have that pattern that I need to make, and I have a deadline on that one. So that one's definitely getting made this weekend, because my deadline I think is Tuesday. It's not getting released on Tuesday, but my deadline is Tuesday. And then hopefully in a couple of weeks after that, I'll be able to share it with you guys. So that is coming up. And that's really all I have on my short-term agenda. I've lost my Sojo. And it kind of bums me out, not super eager to get, into sewing, but I also, I went balls to the wall for quite some time and I was producing a lot, and I'm okay, just stepping back and taking a break and not just sewing and sewing and sewing. I do think that, when I do sit down and sew, it brings me joy. So I don't know what this mental block is about getting in there and getting started. I do think there's something to both Carmen Salome and Katie from Wandering Bobbin both have a daily practice. Carmen does 30 minutes a day, whether she's cutting out a pattern or spending 30 minutes sewing something. She spends 30 minutes in her sewing room every day. And Katie just spent the month of October doing Vlogtober, and she spent an hour every day in her sewing room getting either prepping or finishing or sewing or whatever. And I do think there's something to that. So I'm thinking maybe I will adopt Carmen's philosophy and at least get 30 minutes. That doesn't seem overwhelming to me. And even if I just cut out a pattern or cut out the fabric, or I don't know, organize my sewing room. Right now it's a little bit of a mess, which could also be part of my problem. I do think there's something to that, and knowing that the end result, or actually the process of it, actually makes me happy. I don't know why I have this block just getting started. So I think if I force myself to do something for 30 minutes every day, I'll get back into it. And maybe I'll start with the handbag and just force myself to start stitching it, because I don't think it's going to be hard. I don't know what my problem is. Anyway, if I don't get my Sojo back in the near future, it's okay. I deserve a rest too. So I'm not beating myself up over it by any means. So yeah, that's just where I am right now. Have you ever lost your Sojo? I know there's been a lot of people that have over the last year, and it could just be burnout. You know what I mean? It's probably just burnout. So I don't, there's a lot of tips on getting your Sojo back. I don't know. I'm okay if I don't for a little while. I'm okay resting for a little while, but I am going to try the 30 minutes a day and see if I can at least get that going. If I can't, then again, like I said, I'm not going to beat myself up. All right. So, what I have done is I've bought a little bit of fabric in the hopes that it would get me inspired to do a little bit of sewing. So, although I've lost my Sojo, I haven't lost my desire to watch other sewers' YouTube channels. So I was watching Cherie from Cherie Thomas the other day, and she had this beautiful animal print fabric, and I mentioned to her how much I loved it, and she messaged me in Instagram and let me know that it was on sale at Joann's. And it is this animal print, it almost feels like a canvas. I'm not sure what it is. I'll put it on the screen. But I love this. I got 4 yards of it because it was half off. It was $8 and change a yard. And I don't know if I would, it's kind of heavy for a dress, but maybe like a pinafore style dress, I think it would be cute in. And then I'd still have plenty left over for something else. Or I could use it for a jacket. I'm thinking like on one side of a reversible Molly jacket. How cool would that? Oh, that could be really cool. I like that a lot. Originally, I was thinking overalls, but the reality is I'm probably not going to wear overalls that much. So, oh my gosh, I love the idea of it as a Molly jacket. What do you think? What would you use this fabric for? So it is, like I said, it's a cotton, and it's like a canvas. It doesn't have, it's a lightweight canvas. It's not like heavy. It's got some drape to it, but it's not like flowy by any means. Yeah, I'd love to know what you would make with this. I will link to the fabric below. I don't know if it's still on sale. If it is, I will mention that in the link below. All right, the next 3 fabrics that I got are all from Mily Mae. And I was introduced to Mily Mae Fabrics after I won one of the prizes from the Sew 70s challenge that was run on Instagram in July. And I won an In a Haystack pack for the month of August. And in that was a discount code for Mily Mae Fabrics, which I had never heard of. I haven't heard anybody on YouTube talk about them. So I have shopped on Mily Mae a couple of times since then. And so this time I got 3 pieces of fabric, one of which I hate to say disappointed, but disappointed is probably the right word, but it doesn't mean the fabric is bad. So I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so the first one that I got is this rib knit in this really fun animal print, but it's in fun colors. It's blues and purples, and it's kind of like a snakeskin print. But it's this lightweight rib knit. It's super pretty. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet, but I just love the colors. So that's one. Then I got, if you remember that I showed you, I don't remember when, last week sometime, I showed you the lavender rib knit that I was using to make a top. I got the same rib knit in like this dark teal green. I think that's really pretty for fall. So I got some of that to make something with. This is the fabric that I'm a little disappointed in. And the reality is the fabric is beautiful. The problem is the description on the website. So I thought I was buying a corduroy fabric because the description, and I will show you how it's described in the header. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The header is misleading. If I had gone all the way to the bottom of the description, I might have realized what I was buying, so that's on me. But I do feel like they need to change their description on the header of this fabric. So the header just says cheetah print corduroy or something like that. So this is the fabric. It is beautiful, and it is a cheetah print. But this is a rib knit. This is not a corduroy. This is a knit fabric. Corduroy is woven. Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding? I've never heard of a knit corduroy. So that's where I feel misled. But like I said, this fabric is beautiful. I will use it. I bought a lot more of it than I would have if I had known it was knit. And it's got the corduroy texture to it. So to me, that's just a rib knit. Right? I don't know. Tell me, am I wrong? I'm happy to correct myself if I am, but yeah, I bought a lot of this. I bought 3 yards of it. Actually, I might have bought more than that. I think actually I bought 4 yards of it because I thought it was corduroy. Again, I wasn't sure what I would make with it, but in this knit fabric, I will use it. It's beautiful fabric. The quality is fine. It's just not what I was expecting. So I'm a little bummed about that. So that's kind of it sewing related. Life related, obviously, I got my hair cut. I was going for a modern shag, and I think I got it. I'm trying to get used to the bangs. I haven't had bangs in a long time, so I'm getting used to it. I had to play with it a little bit, but I like it. What do you think? Also, life related, we are probably moving sooner than we expected. So I've talked about before that we're contemplating building a house over on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and that we've met with a couple of different builders, and they've all given us the same lead time quotes of like 12 to 18 months. So we had resigned ourselves to the fact that we would probably renew our lease in this condo for another year. Well, in the meantime, our landlord has decided that the market value for this condo is $1,000 more than what we're paying right now. So he's going to raise our rent by $1,000. That seems extreme to me. So I already don't love living here because the management of the building property is terrible. They make it very difficult to live here. Their rules and regulations, while I get that they are designed to make living here better for everybody, they make it very difficult to manage things in terms of like deliveries and getting work done in the unit, and just overall, all around, like they just make it very difficult to live here, and I have not enjoyed living here. And so the raising of the rent is definitely something for us to think about. And then at the same time, as I was going through and looking at Yelp reviews, I wish I had discovered this last year when we were searching for a place to live, because we never would have moved in here in the first place. Apparently this building was built on land that was a former landfill that had been closed down because toxic waste had been dumped here, and the EPA recommended that this land never get developed. So apparently it wasn't illegal, otherwise the building wouldn't be here, but I no longer feel safe. And I have had, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, I've had headaches my whole life since I was a teenager, but since I've lived here, they have increased significantly. And I couldn't figure out why. When I go on vacation, when I leave here for a week, my headaches disappear. But when I am here at home, I have a headache every day. Some days I wake up with a really bad one and I've got to take migraine medicine and put an ice pack on and go back to bed. And some days, like today, it's just a low-grade headache, but it's there. And I have a headache every single day. And now I kind of feel like there's something in the water, and maybe I'm being overly dramatic, but yeah, so my lease is up at the end of December. So we are 99.9% sure that we're not going to renew our lease. And we're going to be looking for a temporary place to live until we get either a house built or we find an existing house and buy that. And so that really annoys me because I didn't want to have to move in order to move again. So I'm a little pissed about that, a little salty. So yeah, that's what's going on with life. Not great, not terrible. I mean, you know, there's worse things that could be happening. I feel grateful that I have the means to do the interim move, but I'm not happy about actually moving. That part sucks. So that's it for me. Not a lot going on sewing wise. Hopefully I'll have more to share with you next week. But in the meantime, wherever you are, I hope the weather is amazing. It is a gorgeous day here where I live. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.